What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, as always, if you're someone that you enjoy those legends of the game, players from the 60s through the early 2000s, and you do 2K builds, or maybe you're someone that's younger that you may just want to get an idea of some of those legends that time's forgotten, then this is the channel for you guys because that's mainly what I focus on. And, with that being said, guys, if that's content that you enjoy or if that's something that may interest you, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel. But let's get into today's video, okay? So, guys, this guy, he's underrated because when most people talk about the greatest centers of all time, it's sort of like with Moses Malone, he gets forgotten. And I understand that, Patrick Ewing may not have ever won a championship. He may not have ever won an MVP, but he was an amazing player. And for the time that he played in, guys, and even comparing him to today's centers, guys, Patrick Ewing had one of the nicest jumpers I've ever seen on a big man. He had a good jump shot, and he was lethal with it. So I mean, he was really good, and then he was also on the defensive end, guys. He was really really good as well. So you know he was just a good all around player that for a couple of different reasons he's just been forgotten over time. And if you've never seen Patrick Ewing play, guys, I would definitely recommend go watch the guy play because he was unreal. He was a really good player for those Knicks teams. Him and John Starks, guys, was two of my favorite players to watch. I liked Anthony Mason a lot too. Charles Oakley, of course. But Ewing, Mason, and Starks were probably my three favorite Knicks players of the '90s. And Mason is another one of those guys that he constantly gets overlooked, but he was really really good. He could do he could do everything. He was one of those point forwards, kind of like Scottie Pippen, but he wasn't as athletic as Scotty was, but then again, Scotty was nowhere near as strong as he was either. So, but yeah, guys, let's get into it, okay? So, if you like playing with centers, guys, and you want to be able to stretch the floor a little bit, then I think this is going to be the build for you. Um, and just looking at what we have here, guys, I really think that this pie chart right here would be a really good pie chart for a Patrick Ewing build. Um, the one drawback that I have on this one, guys, is you know I don't feel that the post control is going to be anywhere near what it should be. I think it should be in the mid 80s, but we just again we're just going to have to work with what we got. And if we look at some other options here, guys, we do have this one as well. Um, but the one drawback to this, guys, is just look. Okay, look, you lose a great deal of shooting, but you don't really gain anything. You don't really gain anything over this. Yeah, your offensive rebounding is a little bit better, and your defensive rebounding actually gets worse, and your block is the same. You know, so what do you gain with this? You know, you're better off going with this one. If you look, the only thing that really changes is your finishing. But for the most part, guys, you're going to do all right with this. Now, the one drawback to this, I will say, guys, is you're not going to have Hall of Fame defensive badges. You're only going to have, gold. So if you're somebody that likes you like having those defensive badges on Hall of Fame, then this is going to be the route for you. But me personally, guys, because of Ewing's ability to shoot, I'm going to go with this one. Okay. Now with this, guys, you could go a couple of different ways. Um, me personally, I feel like the balanced pie chart works really well for this build. While you're not going to be as strong as you may need to be or you may want to be, you'll be able to do okay. So with this build, guys, look, I mean this is what I would focus on with this build. I would focus on my close shot, my standing dunk, and my post hook. Okay. Now I would put my mid range. I would max it out at 77, and then I would put my 3 point shot. I would just put it up to 65, and my post fade. I'm going to max that out. Okay. So you've got these three here. Now again, if you're someone that you want to put free throw on there, just look around at something that you don't really want, maybe your post hook or something like that, and just take away from that. Um, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my interior defense all the way up, my lateral quickness, and then I'll start from the bottom and work my way up with the defensive rebound maxed, offensive rebound, and then our block. And then that's going to leave us with 40 guys, and we're going to put that remaining 40 right here on post control. Now, if you wanted to bring post control down some, maybe bring it down to say 50, and then that way you could put up your ball handling and your pass accuracy a little bit. You certainly could do that. Me personally, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about it because with this build, you're not going to be dribbling the ball a whole lot. Um, you're mainly going to be either posting up and shooting post fades, or you're going to be picking and popping to get those shots. So let's go ahead and let's look at our badge layouts here, guys. We got 10 finishing, 16 shooting, one playmaking, and 22 defensive and rebounding badges. So um, now for a Ewing build, guys, I mean you could go whatever you would prefer. Me personally, for Ewing, I feel like this right here is a really good representation of what Ewing looked like. Now we're going to pull this down to 240 because he was 7 foot 240. So, and for your wingspan, guys, I'm going to go ahead and max that out. Okay. Now, if we look here, guys, and the reason why I wanted to max that wingspan out is because look, our close shot is 84. Our standing dunk is now at an 87. Now, bear in mind that once we max this out, that close shot's going to be 88, and that standing dunk's going to be 91, and then you're going to have a post hook of 75. So you're going to be able to do pretty well with this build on the interior, guys. But where this build comes into play, guys, and where you're going to have the most fun with this build is that mid range. Look at that. You're going to have a 78 mid range, guys. That's a pretty good mid range shot for a center. You'll be able to knock that down pretty well. And you'll still have a 66 3 ball, guys. So you'll do okay there. And then your post fade is going to be an 85. So, you're going to be able to do all right with this build. On the offensive end, you're going to be able to, really, I mean, you're going to be able to score at all levels, guys. You're going to be able to, inside, you're going to do just fine. That mid range game, you're going to be able to do really, really well. And if you're wide open for a three, if the defense just isn't respecting you, you're going to be able to knock that down, guys, at 66. I do believe. But if you look here, guys, and this is really where extending that wingspan really helped you. You're going to have an interior defense of 86. Your lateral quickness is only going to be a 60, which isn't great, but you're a center, so you'll be able to, I think you'll be able to do all right with that. But look at that block, guys. That block's going to be at 98, and you're going to have an offensive rebound of 88 and a defensive rebound of 97. So, guys, let me just tell you, with this build right here, okay? And given I'm someone, I like to play those interior builds. With this build right here, guys, I can tell you, you could easily average 35 points a game, 20 rebounds a game, and 7 to 8 blocks per game. Easily. I mean, not even trying, guys. It's that good of a build. Okay, it's really, really solid. Um, so if this is the type of build that you like, then this is definitely going to be good for you. Now, Here, guys, I mean, look, you could go either way. Me personally, I go glass cleaner simply because I feel like it gives you the best advantages. Okay, now you got a glass cleaning lockdown, which it seems like with a lot of center builds, that's what you get. You get glass cleaning lockdown. Um, Regardless if that defense is up, you're going to get that. But in a way, guys, this could be what some people call a catfish build because they're going to see, oh, he's a glass cleaning lockdown, and they're not going to expect you to be able to step out and hit the three or that mid range very well. And so you could really use that to your advantage. And let's go ahead. Let's look at the badges. Okay. So let's just get into this, and we'll go ahead and max this out. Now for your finishing badges, guys, look, I'm going to go back down Punisher. Okay. I'm going to go fast twitch. And then I'm going to do rise up. And then for this last one, guys, you could do post spin tech. You could do dream shake, drop stepper, really whatever you want. Me personally, I'm just going to throw it on hook specialist because that's what I'm going to try to use. Okay. Now you've got 16 shooting badges, guys, which for Hall of Fame, that's not going to be great. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to max it. We're going to put our Fade Ace, Hall of Fame, okay? Hot Zone Hunter, Hall of Fame. Now you could do Limitless Spot Up if you wanted to build up that 3-point shot. Me personally, guys, what I would do is I would do this one. No, I take that back. I would not do that one. That's not the one that I was thinking of. I would do catch and shoot, and then for some reason I thought that there was a badge for pick and roll, but it must not be here because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all, guys. So with that, guys, I mean, the next one that I would do is I would go ahead and do blinders, and I would do blinders, and there's one other that I'm looking for, Deadeye. I would do blinders and Deadeye on silver, and those two just because where you're a big man, guys, you're going to get hands up, in your face, and these two badges really help you negate that a little bit. So I feel like if you're going to be playing this build the way that I play this build, which is, uh, you know, when I do like a pick and roll situation, I'll just kind of instead of roll, I'll kind of pop out, to about 15 20 feet out for a good mid range shot. Um, and I think that works really well. Now for this, guys, I mean, you could go a couple of different ways. Me personally, I'm just going to do break starter. That way, when you get that rebound, that's really going to help you, get the ball out. So here, guys, I'm going to go box, brick wall, chase down artists on silver, just to get the animation. I'm going to do post lockdown on gold, intimidator on gold. Um, I'm going to do clamps on silver, and that's just in case I get switched off on a perimeter player in a pick and roll situation. I'm going to do rebound chaser and rim protector on gold as well. And then with this last one, guys, I mean, you could go a couple different ways. Me personally, I'm going to go worm just because that's going to help me get rebounds a little bit. And then there you have it, guys. I think that's a really good Patrick Ewing build. And like I said, with this build, guys, you could have a lot of fun. And if you've never watched Patrick Ewing play, guys, go back and especially watch his early days, guys, when he was with the Knicks. Don't watch those Sonic days because he was a little bit older then and he wasn't quite the same. But definitely watch him. When he played for the Knicks because him and John Starks and those guys, Anthony Mason, they were a really fun crew to watch, guys. And Patrick Ewing was a really, really good center. He's really, really underrated. And it's that's one of the main focuses that I have on this channel, guys. Some of those underrated players that I feel were great. that have, that's been forgotten. I just want to kind of make, let their name be heard one more time at least. Maybe get some of the younger generation looking up those guys and looking at some of their highlights and being like, man, this Patrick Ewing guy was pretty good. And because he was a really good player, guys. So but if you enjoyed today's video, guys, I would greatly appreciate a like. And as always, if you like those legends of the game, guys from the 60s through the early 2000s, and you do 2K builds or you enjoy watching 2K builds, then hey, guys, this is the channel for you. I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel. And let me know in the comments below, guys, if maybe you would like to see something like, because I'm thinking about maybe doing just like talking about sports in general. I know the Ben Simmons thing, it's been blowing up. It seems to be really crazy. Everybody's got an opinion on it. And I'm just wondering, like, um, if maybe you'd like to see me play the game, or maybe simulate through a game or something like that, and just kind of talk sports with you guys, while that's going on. If that would be something that would interest you, because it's something that I enjoy doing. I love talking basketball, guys, and I mean, not just the the legends, of the game, or or anything like that, or different eras. I can talk the modern day as well. There's a lot of things going on, like do we think the Nets and the Lakers are going to meet in the finals this year? Do we think that maybe the Bucks, are they going to be able to repeat? Um, can AD stay healthy in LA? That's the biggest thing for me right now, guys. I feel like if AD gets injured, that's pretty much going to do the Lakers season in. Because I feel like he's that piece that's going to make that puzzle complete. And without AD, it's as good as LeBron James is, guys, as good as Russell Westbrook is. Without AD, guys, I don't see them. I don't see them making a big wave. So if he gets injured again, and I am kind of worried because he bulked up, and his major problems have been leg issues. It's not been upper body issues. I think he had a shoulder issue at one point, but that was kind of in the in the past, and that hasn't been an issue as of late. As of late, it's been his Achilles and his knees, and just leg issues. So kind of worried about him bulking up a little bit. And you know Davis is somebody that I follow, guys, because as I've mentioned a couple of times on this channel, I'm from Kentucky, so you know guys like Anthony Davis and Julius Randle, and players like that. Carl Anthony Towns, Monk. You know, I do follow those guys, and I do kind of keep up with those guys. Um, so it's just one of those things that I do worry about that, and I really hope that that doesn't hamper him. You know, as the season goes on. But we'll just have to wait and see, guys. But I mean, if that's something you think you would enjoy, let me know, because, like I said, that is something that I would be interested in doing. But with that being said, guys, have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.